no one or nothing can hurt your male ego like a woman can. Like the slightest of comments. This sounds
like a man talking from experience.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to Bearded Discussion Podcast, the show that talks about what it means to be a man in the 21st century. I'm your host, Simon Binkowski, a self-proclaimed fitness fanatic, and I'm on a journey to challenge stereotypes about men. Every week, me and my guests will bring you amazing conversations about masculinity, relationships, fitness, sex, and many more. Now, let's jump into the show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bearded Discussion Podcast. Today with me, I have the YouTuber slash professional jokester, Mr. Adam Coumas. Welcome back.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here. What I wanted to discuss today is something that I'm sure in a lot of ways, is close to our hearts. And it's a little thing called male ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just wanted to discuss it because I find it fascinating. It's such a sort of sensitive topic and very universal when it comes to men in general. And I just wanted sort of, just discuss it. And I found a few examples sort of or situations when male ego kicks in. And I just sort of, I wanted to hear your opinion of what you think about them, and sort of like the first universal example of when a male ego kicks in is when he can't do something, when a man can't do something. And I just think it's so true because definitely I've been in the situations like that where if someone tells me, "Oh, you can't do something," I immediately that switch lights up in my head, and you like, "No, I'll fucking show you. Like I can do it." Like right.
Well, so the first thing is I'd like to say that I've never actually experienced that because there's never anything I can't do. So no, I completely get what you mean. It's it's two things. I think being told, yeah, you're not allowed to do something, and then somebody saying, "Oh, I bet you can't do that because you don't have the skill set," and then both of those things sort of spur you on to kind of want to just do it to the best of your ability, even if it's something that doesn't even benefit you, just to spite them and go, "Yeah, I told you I can do it. Fuck you."
Yeah, exactly. Like if whenever I hear that, like you can't do something, I don't know whether that's universal for everyone, but I really do feel like if someone tells you, you're unable to do this or that, is a bit like, who are you to tell me what I can do and I can't?
Normally a teacher or something.
Yeah, but that's when you're a little kid or something, and that's actually a very interesting point, because if you teach your kids from being little that you can't do something, and you really like sort of embed it in their heads and then behavior, that can really mess them up when they get older.
Yeah, unless it's like, road safety or something, like you can't cross the road.
Obviously like the standards of safety or whatever.
You can't go out walking late at night, You can't go in the swimming pool in the deep end when you haven't had your first swimming lesson. Like those things were fine. Like,
that's true.
Although, you know what, maybe just you have to jump in the deep end sometimes and figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. But like another thing, for example, is like when you play sports, sports itself is such a competitive, medium, and especially if you play like male oriented sports like football or rugby or American football. Yeah. That was sexist.
Male orientated.
No, it's not.
when they've got men playing, then they are male orientated, and when they're females playing, then they're female orientated.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What's a male sport compared to a female sport? Volleyball?
No, I said no. I said male oriented. I didn't say male sport.
Oh, okay. I thought you said women shouldn't be in sport. I think that's what you said, wasn't it?
No, you twisted my words. Why are you trying to get me cancelled? I'm just starting out.
I just saw the smile pillow and it just made me angry. How dare you tell me this? Who says I can't smile?
Yeah. See, that's when your male ego kicks in.
Yeah, any sport. Yeah.
It's such a competitive thing where
it is. Yeah,
definitely especially when you play team sports, you get that spark of, I'm the biggest I have the biggest balls on this like field or whatever, and I'm gonna show everyone.
Yeah. That's sexist. Unless you're literally talking about balls as in like, I don't know, basketballs or footballs. I don't know
we're talking about a male ego, man.
All right, okay, you're talking about testicles, fair enough. I think, people used to say to me when I was growing up, like, I remember in a secondary school, high school, people would go, oh, Adam, you're not very good at football. Or, oh, you're not good enough. And the truth was I wasn't good enough. But I always say to them, it's not that I'm not good enough, I just choose to be bad. Yeah,
but also, and you personally, you're not really interested in sports like football, right?
No, it sucks. It does suck. It fucking sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, the World Cup's fine. I like the World Cup. Once every 4 years for about 2 weeks is perfect. Perfect amount of sports. Olympics, I like watching occasionally. Again, once every 4 years, not this year because of various reasons.
Adam Coumas is a very how do you say it? Sporadic sports fan.
Yeah, very rare, very minuscule.
Casual. That's the word that I was looking for. Casual, not sporadic.
Oh yes, no. Every once it randomly just pop up like
What do you do? What do you do in a situation if, like, say you, it's the evening, you're chilling at home with your girl, watching a movie or something, and then I don't know, you guys watching your favorite movie, and then the main actor pops up on the screen, all chiseled, abs, muscles, slick back hair like mine. Not bragging. And when your girlfriend is saying out loud how hot that actor is, that's another situation when your male ego kicks in. Like, yeah, you can definitely be like self-aware and confident in yourself and your appearance and everything, but when you hear someone that you love or that you're attracted to say something like that, that's definitely a moment when your male ego kicks in and you're a bit like, what? Like,
Unless he's Ryan Gosling, in which case that guy's a legend, and he's worth it. He's worth the compliments.
No. He's a great actor, but no.
See, I've accepted that Ryan Gosling's hot and Zac Efron. You need to get on board. But the thing that I find funny more about that conversation is that my partner will never say, oh, he's so good looking or he's so hot. They will normally just say, oh, yeah, he's really cool. He's really cool. Like, he's just a really good actor. It's like, fuck off. You don't care about his acting. You've never cared and told me about that. You never said to me, Tom Hanks is a good actor. Like, Tom Hanks is a great actor, right?
Yeah.
But they'll just sort of subtly kind of go, yeah, he's very cool, isn't he? Yeah, and I'm like, that just means you think he's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't mind that, because what I immediately do is eject the DVD or turn off the Netflix stream and I put on another movie where there's like good women in there, and I start saying the same shit, and then they start getting annoyed, and I go, see, how do you like it? That's it.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, and I just go, oh, she's so cool, Margaret Robbie or whatever.
I mean, yeah, it definitely works both ways, but it's absolutely. I think every one of us has been in that kind of situation when you watching a movie and just watching a TV and you sort of hear that, and subconsciously it's like brewing in your head, and it's like it's fucking stewing in there.
Yeah.
And you remember it. You're like, next time when you're going to see a completely different movie with the same actor or something, you'll be like, I don't like you anymore.
I think for me, when it comes to movies, the male ego kicks in more like when my partner asks me to watch a scary movie. Because I don't like watching scary movies. For me, like, unless it is the movie Scary Movie, because those aren't scary, right? Or if it's something like Scream, which is ironic, I don't mind that. But like actual horror movies, like Insidious, or ones that are just jump scares, I don't enjoy them. I don't understand why that's a dopamine rush. It's not a fun time for me. But my partner loves them, and she's always saying, I like to watch them, and we never watch any together.
Yeah.
And she always asks me, is it because you're scared? And I hate to say, well, no, I'm not scared. I don't want to enjoy it. But the reality is, I don't want to fucking watch it because I'm scared, right?
I can completely relate to that. It's like you have this sort of, I'm guessing in some ways it's like a curse of creative people. When you're a creative person, you have this wild imagination, and then when that mixes with your, I don't know, just sort of natural apprehension towards scary movies, like I'm not a fan. Like I don't mind a scary movie from time to time, but when I sometimes when I watch it, or sometimes I don't want to watch it because I know that fucking my head will definitely be like spinning 360 times a second, like as soon as I put my head to the pillow.
Yeah, for me, it's not even that. It's not like I have long-lasting creepiness or scariness. The toughest thing about watching horror movies is the fact that when there's jump cuts and there's deliberate scares, natural reflexes as humans, as animals, we're supposed to respond like we're supposed to do that. And then as a man, especially if you're watching it with your partner, you're told not to do that because you're supposed to be there just the high time going, like you're not supposed to jump. Even when you're watching it with like mates, like lads around or something, you're supposed to be like, if you jump, all the others are going, look at him. And you're supposed to like repress what is such a basic and instinctive muscle memory.
It's fight or flight, right? It's fight or flight.
It's like when people go to you at school, when in school, like people go, you flinched, and you go, yeah, of course. It's a natural reaction. Imagine if like something in the wild was going to hit me and it just knocked, poked my eye out. I was like, I didn't flinch there, mate. It's just like, no, it's a natural, you're supposed to have quick reflexes. Yeah. And I hate the fact that if I'm watching a scary movie with other people around, I will have to pretend that I don't have those natural sort of flinches. And I mean. Like, I'm not scared of like, as far as I know, I'm not scared of anything else. Or I'm not scared of spiders. I'm not scared of,
Clowns.
I'm scared of heights.
Clowns?
No. Like nothing. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not darkness, dying alone. I'm not scared of anything. And it's just, I just don't want to watch horror movies because I feel like I'm going to have to assert my masculinity. Like if I jump once throughout that movie, I'm going to have to take out the bins immediately. And, then do something else. Whatever men do, I don't know what men do.
Yeah. That is so true. I mean, definitely, like, the male ego is such a fragile thing in a lot of ways. But I would say, the funny thing about a male ego is that I think, and I'm curious to see whether you agree with it, no one or nothing can hurt your male ego like a woman can. Like the slightest of comments. This
sounds like a man talking from experience.
Of course, man. Like, of course.
What's been said to you? You don't know your 6-pack. You only have 5 packs on your 6-pack or something.
I don't want to bring it back. But don't you think it's so true? Like, because in a lot of ways, as guys, we when you sort of when you look at it from the perspective of just like biology and history and everything, like we are sort of our nature or our natural instinct is to either like dominate or gather and like you know, just get more or as much territory and everything, like you know, gather as much as possible. And but then in a lot of ways, everything that we do subconsciously is to impress women. Yeah, in a lot of ways, that is true.
Whoever you're trying to attract, men or women, it's to attract a partner, isn't it? Yeah, it's like
exactly, to get attention and attract someone that you're attracted to as well.
It's kind of like I don't know if like there was you've probably seen it, but there was like an amazing sort of clip of Planet Earth on YouTube, and it's David Attenborough talking about these birds in the Amazon rainforest, I think it is. And I can't remember the name of the bird, and I can't remember which region it was, but it was basically a male bird and a female bird. And the female bird looked plain as shit, like no makeup on or anything, but it was just a basic brown bird essentially. And the male bird had like this huge array of like colourful feathers and patterns, and he was dancing. He was like doing a little dance to try and get her to like be like, oh, look at me, you know, I'm an attractive person, or I've got value. And I thought that's so bizarre. Like, it's not too far away from what men do, but they just, instead of like feathers, we just do it with like, I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. In a lot of cases, and that's why I said what I said.
All just fucking bird brains in the end.
Oh yeah, man. Like, obviously, you know, that primal instinct, as developed as we are as a society, and as much as things are changing, that primal instinct will never go. And that's why I said what I said. You know, nothing and no one can hurt the male or impact the male ego like a woman can, with the slightest of comments that in a lot of cases could have not been intended to have that effect. Like, imagine the situation if you're in bed or whatever, and you get like a slightest comment that you just didn't expect to hear in that situation, in that intimate situation, and it can fuck up your sex for like years to come.
I think for me, the only time I've experienced like women saying something which I was like, oh, okay, is like just when they're making comments about like your hair or something, and you're like, oh, and then you tell them, you go, oh, rude, and they kind of go, oh, was that rude? I go, that's how I was like, is that how you talk to like your female colleagues all the time? It's like, that's not just how women talk to each other. And like, I think that's like, I don't know, like I think with men, like men don't care about each other enough to sort of go, oh, mate, your hair's a little bit off or this, and it's just like, all right,
cool, yeah.
That's just how he looks today. I don't care. I don't even have the complexity to realize if he's had a haircut or he's had his beard trimmed or whatever. I don't care. Whereas I think women have those slight sort of adjustments, and they go, oh, did you not? Oh, your hair looks different today. And you're like, what? Because it just looks fluffier. And you're like,
that's
what
true.
do you mean?
But that's exactly what you said. So what you sort of referred to before. You know, if a guy says it to you, like, oh, fuck off, like, you know, I don't care.
But a guy doesn't even guess. Yeah.
Exactly. But if a girl says it to you, you obviously take it to heart.
It's just the slightest things that you wouldn't even considered. Like I think some women have such an ability to pick up on every little detail that you didn't even know existed.
Exactly. But you wouldn't care if it was the same detail and a guy said it to you. The only reason why you care so much is because you want to fuck.
I'd say you just because you don't value their opinion as much. I feel like when it comes to like basic grooming or...
Oh, you mean guys or women? You don't value whose opinion? Guy's opinion.
Guy's opinion, yeah. I don't value their opinion. Like when it comes to like basic grooming or looking good and stuff, I just don't value their opinion. So if they go... If a guy goes up to me and goes, "Oh, your shirt's shit, mate," I'm just like, "Who are you? You're not unless you're like Gok Wan or some famous stylist. I'm not going to care." But if if a woman tells you that, you're just like, "Oh my god, I better just burn all my outfits and buy new stuff," because you value their opinion a lot more. Yes, but let's not. Okay, well, maybe it's different.
No. It's true. Yeah, I agree with you. But let's, don't beat around the bush. You value their opinion because you also just want to fuck as much as possible.
No, I don't know, man. It depends because any woman. So, like, even if it's friends, family, any woman. If any woman gives me advice, like I get advice. I get advice from good friends. And they, there's no attraction there at all. It's just like proper friendship and stuff. And they'll just go, oh, by the way, you look better when you do this. And I kind of go, okay, yeah. I had a sneaking suspicion that sandals with socks wasn't a good idea.
White socks.
I legit used to do that. I have to find them. I've got some photos. Mate, I thought I was the fucking Don when I was wearing sandals and socks.
That is disgusting. I'm so disappointed with you right now.
It's just like...
I'm so disappointed with you. Oh, come on. Especially white socks and sandals. That is the worst fucking look ever.
The ones you can wear.
Huh?
Those are the only socks you wear with sandals.
No, you don't wear sandals, period.
Jesus did it. What would Jesus do?
If he was alive today, he would probably wear Yeezys.
He's alive with all of us, Simon. What are you talking about?
All right, this is not that kind of podcast. Shut the fuck up.
We'd like to take a minute to talk about our sponsor, Jesus Christ. He's bringing you the New Testaments. New tour coming 2032.
It has 3 extra lines of unscripted before.
Yeah, exactly. 3 extra testaments. What you see next will surprise you.
We're gonna burn in hell, man.
Well, you definitely lost all your Christian followers.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's talk about the Quran.
So why do you think a male ego is so fragile? Why do you think that is?
I don't know why it's fragile, but I do know why it's necessary.
Okay, why is it needed then?
I think it's necessary because men need to do stupid shit in order to achieve certain stuff.
Okay.
And that goes with anyone. I think, obviously women do it too, but I think men, when it comes, not to generalize, but I think when it comes to stupidity, I think men have like a stronghold. Don't get me wrong, there's some stupid women out there, but I think men have just really, we've taken that niche and we've made it our own. When you think of stupid, if you think of like the definition of stupid in terms of like a person, you're imagining a man 9 times out of 10. Yeah. And I think like stupidity, I don't know, Jackass is just an example that comes to mind.
Great show.
Great show, legendary show, before fucking YouTube and pranks and stuff like that. They were the original G's, right? And some of their show was so entertaining and everything else. And all of that came from the male ego. Oh, I'll do this. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'll have a paintball shot in my face, or I'll have my arse cheeks tattooed. And it's all just like, I bet you can't do that, chicken. And they start doing it. And I think like even on a different level, like, I don't know, like for example, if you're doing stand-up comedy, like so when I do gigs, right? If I go on, especially when I first started, I've been going 4 years now, but when I first started and I was doing my first few gigs, I remember I would just go up and I would die. I would completely just die on stage. Nobody would laugh. Everybody looking at me going, who's this guy? Why is he even here? And you think, why the hell would I come back? I came back because of the male ego. I came back, so I know I can do better. I know I'm good. Or I've always, even though I've been definitely shit at times, I always thought I was good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that keeps you coming back. So I think if you don't have enough of an ego, and a comedian of mine that I really like, Shappy Corsandi, she talks briefly in one of her stand-up bits about why you see more men in stand-up than women in like. She gives one reason why you might see more men than women in stand-up, and it's because men have this ego which women don't seem to have. They don't have this. They don't have the same level of arrogance that men do. Like if men go on stage, I think she did liken it to like a nightclub. I think her set was something like if a woman goes into a club and asks a man to dance or something, the man goes no, she immediately like breaks down. She'll go to the toilets with her friends and everything else, and her friends will be like, "Don't worry about him. He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about." He'll be lucky to have you. Don't worry, you're too good for him anyway. And that's the sort of support network that they have. If a man goes up to a club and asks a girl out or something, and she goes no, he just walks away and goes, "Oh, she must be a lesbian," and just goes up to her. Just asks 10 more in a row. And it's like, it's that level of stupidity, arrogance, and ego that I think is necessary just for survival. I think you've got to, because otherwise, if you just take everything at face value, you're just going to go, oh my God, life is so crap, I can't do anything.
That is so true.
End up anyway. It's, you know, why start a podcast? You know, like you think, oh, because you want it to be really, you think it's going to be valuable to other people. There's a certain level of ego in that, you know, like what?
Of course.
Yeah. So it's like, but if you didn't have an ego and you didn't have any sort of wanting to do well, I think is like takes an ego, you know.
But it's exactly what you're saying. It's also that thing of say, even if you bomb or whatever, it's that thing in your head where you think to yourself, I can really do better. Like, you know,
yeah,
like this was I just fucked up, but I can definitely do better. And like I have to go out again and prove to myself that I can.
Yeah, you know, I'll show you guys.
Exactly.
I'll never see you again, but if I do, I'll be better.
Exactly. I am the man. I have to show everyone that I can do it, and exactly that. Absolutely. But at the same time, that can be dangerous, because when is that sort of point where that can overtake you as a person or your personality, and you just become an arrogant prick, essentially? And that is very dangerous, because you definitely, at a certain point, I think you can reach that point.
I don't know when it becomes dangerous. I think maybe dangerous if you start overestimating your skills and you kind of go, yeah, I'm a lifeguard, let your kids swim in the pool, and it's like you've never had.
Yeah, but I don't mean dangerous physically. I just mean sort of dangerous to your personality and how the world sort of, you know, your interactions with the world around you. Because you can get to that point where you just become so sort of in it that you sort of, you know, you're the best, I'm going to show everyone and whatever, that you just become arrogant, really. And
yeah, so speaking as an arrogant prick, my experience is, because that's generally been my affectionate nicknames from friends and partners. They've always just called me prick, and I've just gone, cool, I guess there's a similarity, right? I take it in my stride. I mean, that's part of being arrogant. You kind of go, well, it's a good trait to have, to being overconfident.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be arrogant to the extent where people call you arrogant and a prick, as long as you have those human moments where, if somebody's genuinely in need and stuff, you can switch up all the bullshit and you can just talk to them one-on-one and just listen to them.
Absolutely.
I think as long as you have that, then you can really take the arrogance to as far as you want. So like on stage, I'm super arrogant, but I like to think when I'm just in the green room talking to comedians, you know, and they're talking to me, if it's one-on-one, I'd like to think that I come across a lot more personable compared to how I am on stage. And for me, I think that's kind of a license. So, you know, I think the worst thing is like, I don't know. I mean, I know it's getting too comedy specific, but sometimes when you see people on stage and they're super friendly and super likable, they're like, oh my God, I'm just the everyman. Oh my God. And then you see those pricks come off stage. They're the worst people to talk to. I know so many of them, like brilliant comedians, but then they're so arrogant on stage. When you speak to them off stage, you're like, wow, this person's actually a prick, like actual. Like,
but then that won't last long, because you can see through that sort of, you know, after a certain point, if someone sort of puts on that mask, you can see behind the bullshit, or you will be able to see behind the bullshit.
They're on TV, so they're doing well, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it will come out at some point sooner or later, I'm sure, as it has done for many people.
There's nothing wrong with being a prick. Like, it's not like illegal to be a prick, though, is it? You can't be
no, I'm not. But like what you said, but what you said is very true and important. You know, it's good to be confident, and even when that sort of confidence at certain points sort of bridges like sort of over arrogance, and to some people you may appear that way, but then when you sort of in these more I don't know, sensitive or intimate moments or whatever, you have that sort of the personal, the personable side of you sort of come out, and that is exactly it. Like it's good, it's great to be confident and self-aware and have a high self-esteem, because in a lot of ways that's what you need to progress in life.
Yeah.
But you know, you cannot be that 24/7, or you cannot be that.
Yeah, nobody's like that
in every situation. Oh, I'm sure you have a lot of people like that. Like,
well, on coke.
I don't know. I mean, I know that in some ways that might be a stereotype, but if you look at sort of like the financiers and bankers in like Canary Wharf or Wall Street, I'm sure that like a lot of
fuck stereotypes for bankers. It's like, they've got enough. They have enough money not to care about a stereotype. They're the only subgroup of people where you can just sort of say all bankers are pricks. And they'd be like, yeah, you know what, mate? I had a money bath again today. I had a money bath. Like they don't care. They're the only section of society you can call pricks, absolute wankers, right? And they don't care because they've got too much money to worry about. Probably. And you know what? If I had that much money, I wouldn't care either. So as far as I can say, generalize away, man.
But that also depends on what kind of a person you are. I'm guessing like if you were born into money, then and you then sort of got into that lifestyle, you'll probably never change, or there's going to be a very small amount of people that actually will. But if you sort of, if you were brought up in a had like humble beginnings or whatever, that teaches you a lot of humility. Like it.
Of course it does.
Exactly.
Just the words "I can't have that" or "you can't have that."
Exactly.
Is hugely
so powerful, because then you're trying to process it in your little brain. Like, why cannot I have that?
Why can't I have that? Yeah, and it's just like it's a trait which you can't. It's definitely an environmental trait. You can't teach it. You just have to have experienced it, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's like the problem. When you see like people who come from humble beginnings, and they grow up and then they have their own kids and their own family, and then they have kids and their kids are just fucking spoiled. And you can tell they're always wrestling, going, I want to make my kid have the same values as I did, but I don't know how to do that without fucking just disowning them, chucking them in an adoption house. It's hard for them to say, keep them humble. Yeah. It's just the way it is.
That's absolutely true. And so in a lot of ways, the sort of the moral of this podcast is like, it's good to have an ego. It's good to keep your ego in check, but then sort of don't let it don't let it become you as a person in a lot of ways. And sort of because I used to be like that, like even a few years ago, like I used to be like that. I used to be very sensitive to what people said to me, and I used to have that thing, like I was sort of easily annoyed or insulted or whatever.
That's still you today, mate.
Nah.
Well, no, you laughed, so maybe not. How'd you go? No.
You know me well enough to know that, but it's I used to be like that. And then after a certain point, you sort of say to yourself, like, no, like, I will have no friends or no sort of any social circles.
If you don't have a sense of humor, nobody's going to like you.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if that sort of the way to overcome it in a lot of ways is to just, in a lot of ways, stop giving a fuck. And
stop taking yourself too seriously.
Exactly.
I don't like people who take themselves too seriously. People who can't laugh at themselves. And every time, like even on social media, if they're just every post is like it has to be so profound, and they're really doing a cause, and and when you meet those people and you know that they literally drink from the same shit they serve everyone else. They don't have the ability to look back and go, okay, that sounds pretty pretentious. I hate that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. And so, like, guys, if you listen into it and you sort of see that as a problem in your life or something, just don't stress over the little shit, because it's not worth it.
And not special.
Exactly.
That's how you're going to get more viewers, telling them you are not special.
No, you're not. Maybe not. You're not special. It's just, don't stress over the little things, and just exactly. Don't take yourself too seriously, because life's too short for it. And why do that? Exactly. All right, man. Thank you for coming on this show. Thank you everyone for listening. If people want to find you on the internet, they can find you on your social medias,
Yeah, you can find me on social media. Main one, YouTube/Adam Coumas. New videos every Monday. The latest video, I think, is actually one on the male ego. So very relevant to this podcast.
There you go. There you go, guys. Go and check it out. Adam Coumas on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week. Thank you, Adam.
Cheers,
See
mate.
ya. Take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to Bearded Discussion Podcast. If you like the show, subscribe and follow your host, Simon Binkowski, on YouTube and Instagram. Share it with your friends and tune in next week. See ya.